Welcome back to Attack on Titan Anime Review Special number 14. Next month is the return of the season 3 of Attack on Titan, which I'm looking forward to that. Anyways, let's talk about the newest chapter in the manga, which is the 115th chapter. Yeah, as of right now, this series just surpassed my... Right now, it's the second longest monthly manga series I've read so far. Longest for a while before I read this one in Black Butler was Soul Eater, 113 chapters. This one basically takes over that particular number. It's now the second longest one, and Soul Eater being the third longest right now. Alright, the chapter is called Support. First start off with Hange and her group, and they hear like a thunder strike, and then they come across Zeke, and he is a mess. Like, he had suffered like a big wound, and looks like he's dying. There's a bit of a flashback. Something happened when he was like how he got his power. Yeah, they show that. That's okay. They show him his Beast Titan form. A little bit more flashback stuff. Yeah, it's okay. A little better than the last chapter, where it took up pretty much most of the whole chapter. Mentioning about Aaron's, and of course Aaron does appear in this chapter. We have the conversation that I've never... Apparently this happened during a time skip, where Aaron and Zeke actually talk to each other. Yep. I don't know why, but they do. And we see briefly looks like the Queen, and then some Titans. I think this is a flashback from the Uprising arc, where the death of the royal family. And that's pretty much... You have Aaron and Zeke just talking. This takes up pretty much most of the chapter. And we see this little girl who just comes across Zeke's body. Looks like she just transforms into a Titan. Sort of heals him. Like, opens up her stomach. I have no idea why in the world this is happening. I'm not showing it because it's kind of gross. Puts Zeke inside of her. And then we cut to look like a firing squad. Where people look like they're possessed by having the spinal fluid in their body. From Zeke, and we have some eating. We see Commander Proctus. Great to see the guy. He's an absolutely great character. I love this character. Lots of talking this whole chapter. Bit of a conversation here and there. And Hodge finally finds Levi, and he's a mess too. He's basically just bloody from near the eyes. He's basically dying, and all worried about him. And all of a sudden, here comes Zeke, perfectly fine. And looks like he's de-aged a few years, somehow. As for what the heck happened, no idea. Oh yeah, and Zeke's naked. Asking what happened. And apparently it's explained that apparently this little girl, while he was inside this little girl's body, while he transformed into Titan, she fixed him. And he's perfectly fine. And of course they ask about what happened to people guarding him, Levi's men, they disappear. And then we see Eren Yeager. First time in 3 chapters we've seen this guy. Yep. And he speaks to the little girl who killed Sasha back in, I think it was like 108, I think it was 106. Talks to her briefly. And all of a sudden, this woman just takes out a knife, stabs a guard in a freaking neck, points a Luger at her, at Eren. I always knew it was a Luger because I've seen this type of gun before in fiction. Yeah. And plus, this was, from what I've heard, a common souvenir. This common collector's item, basically, anybody who participated in World War II. And she tells, don't move. She tells Eren, don't move. You too, Gabby, stay quiet. Miss Peck, quiet. Eren Yeager, well. Am I right? Yeah, as for why it is, it's kind of an odd ending to this chapter, which has been interesting. This is a particularly very strange chapter. We have Zeke surviving an explosion somehow, getting healed up by a Titan, molded, and then just turned back normal. And looks like, from looking at the appearance of Zeke looked like he was de-aged about, I'd say about 5 years. Yeah, he looks like he's a much younger guy. He doesn't look like he's not much older than Eren. He looks like a guy probably in his 30s, I'd say. Though I think that the flashbacks in here are a little bit more interesting than they were in last. At least they show him actually transforming first time into the Beast Titan, which I thought that was better than the flashbacks of last chapter. And of course, my two best highlights this whole chapter, aside from the flashback of him how he first became Beast Titan, was of course seeing Commander Praxis first time in a few chapters. Great to see the guy, like I said, because despite the fact he's based upon a controversial figure, he's an absolute great character. And I'm glad the fact the writer got a chance to use him a little. He keeps using him, put him in the book. But that ending, wow, this ending came completely out of nowhere. But the one down point I have against this particular chapter is the long conversation with the people who were apparently drinking wine that had Zeke's spinal fluid. I'm like, how the heck is this possible? Seriously, how the heck is this possible? And that ending, wow. A woman who is with Eren stabs a guard in the neck with a knife, and then she's like saying like, Eren Yeager, am I right? And that's how the chapter ended. It was just, yeah. When I read them, like, really? This is how you end the chapter with this awkward cliffhanger? Yeah, it's very awkward because there's no reason why she does this. It's like, it's kind of like we wanted a little bit more. It's like anybody who reads this chapter wants to see a little bit more, but it's shocking ending. Don't get me wrong, it is shocking, but why? Why did she stab that guard for? And why did she look like she really wanted to meet Eren for some reason? Somehow. And of course, Eren already knew a few chapters back this was the little girl who killed Sasha. Yeah. As for why he brought her, no idea. Mitsuki and Armin I kind of get because he's a longtime friends with them and he wants to sort of free them from whatever control. But this girl, I don't think he wants to kill her. As for the reasoning for this, I have no idea. Yeah. It's definitely an improvement over last chapter, but yeah, not by much. I'm going to give this chapter roughly a 8.75 out of 10. It's a slight improvement over last chapter, okay? So that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my reviews of Ace Attorney, My Hero Academia. Excuse me. And I think that'll be it today because I was thinking of doing Open Talkwits, but I might stick for tomorrow. But I'm only just planning on doing 2 more videos today, okay? But see you in the next few. Bye.